Good morning, everybody, and thank you for inviting me to present IAQOS. I'm Federico Bomba, president of Cineglossa, an Italian organization working with art as a strategy for local development. Together with Salvatore Iaconesi and Oriana Persico, who are two artists and hackers, we developed IAQOS, which is Intelligenza Artificiale di Quartiere Open Source, so an open source neighborhood artificial intelligence. This is thanks to the support of the Italian Ministry of Culture. We supported a pilot project for developing suburbs of cities through technology. We started with the first pilot project in Rome, and specifically in the most multicultural neighborhood in Rome, which is called Torpignattara, in the most multicultural school, primary school of this neighborhood, which had been famous, and you can read about these schools in all the newspapers, for the good integration that teachers and parents together managed to have, despite the fact that there were more than 80% of pupils not Italians, so not speaking Italian at the beginning. So we started from them. The aim was to create a dissemination about what artificial intelligence is, because most of the times we think that artificial intelligence is something very technical for computer scientists, and that it's a black box that we cannot open. It is not really like that. It's very important since, as you know, artificial intelligence influence all our lives, our daily lives, from the social networks to the new apps that we will use for for the COVID, and for so there's a big debate about artificial intelligence, about privacy, and about social issues about connected to the technology. So. For keeping democracy as we know it, it's very important that most of us knows how artificial intelligence works and how every one of us can use it in their own daily life, in their own projects, of course, with the help of technicians or with the help of computer scientists, but all the humanistic people, all the people working in the creative industry should know that this can be a very helpful tool for developing projects, for education and for culture, and for many other reasons. What we did was to create a narrative framework for this project, so that through art we thought that artificial intelligence could be delivered with a different kind of empathy. The narrative framework was the birth of a very special child, which was not at all like a human child. That was very important, because the perception we have of artificial intelligence is always can be a dystopic perception. Most of us saw Black Mirror, for instance, the web TV series, or other movies dealing about our dystopic future. We didn't want that. We want, as you can see in the picture, and it was like we used also a trolley for carrying the baby, but the baby was not a human baby. It was very important. It was a computer, it was in cloud. It was very important that we are not talking about a strange future which humans don't understand the difference between humans and robots. But humans should relate with artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence, more than all the other technologies, is a technology of relationship. So we teach something to the artificial intelligence learns something and gives us back something else. So if we teach in a proper manner, we will have some good results. So it's a common responsibility in this, what we wanted to say, what we said in that neighborhood, and this is the reason why we managed to engage so many people in the growth of this this special child, was the fact that we wanted the responsibility of every person of the neighborhood to give the right information to the artificial intelligence. Like a child, if you give bad information to and give bad data to a child, the child will have bias in his mind, in her mind. So it's a social responsibility, not a one-to-one responsibility, or not a company responsibility, to always be aware of what we are giving to an open source artificial intelligence. So we create an expectation at the beginning, an expectation of the fact that something was growing in the area and in the neighborhood, and everyone should be aware of that and responsible for that. And then we made a big party for the birth of IAQOS. So there were a lot of people, greetings for the birth of IAQOS, all the neighborhood. So a neighbor artificial intelligence is amongst us. What can we do with it? So we opened up a lot of workshops with children, with teachers, and with other people, with more people, to let them understood how an artificial intelligence works, basically. This is the first step. And it can be done in a very simple way. There is not like, if you go further, there can be obviously very complex algorithms and code issues. But this is not the topic of the project. The project is not about technological innovation, it's about social innovation. So the way in which can use technology for creating engagement, for creating inclusion, for creating development of social life. And at the end, we managed to have some associations and some artists to adopt IAQOS. So in Rome now, sometimes you can see other people using IAQOS for their own small projects. The end of the pilot project arrived with the adoption itself in another big party inside the school, called Taste the World. It was a party dealing with food from all over the world, from all the parents of having children in the school, having people in the school, bring their own food. So it's a party which involves more than 2,000 people. It's a huge thing for Torpignattara, and IAQOS was going around. You can see the picture comes from that, and IAQOS was going around and talking to people. Of course, we could talk a lot about the opt-in data concession, which is a very important thing, but we can go a bit technically, maybe further on. This was the first pilot project, and now we're developing IAQOS in other cities, but probably the most important project we are developing now is in Bozen. And we're working with Cooperativa Dieci Mondi and with Massimiliano Gianotti in Bozen with a huge, with a big implementation of the project, which was just started in Rome. So I would leave Massimiliano the explanation of what we're doing right now in Bozen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Federico. Good morning to everyone. I'm Massimiliano Gianotti, president of Cooperativa Dieci Mondi. Cooperativa Dieci Mondi is a cultural enterprise and an audiovisual production company based in Bolzano. Together with Cineglossa, we are working on IAQOS Bolzano inside the fourth edition of the project Make It Visible Contemporary Arts Residency for Youth. What is Make It Visible? Make It Visible is a creative campus dedicated to youngsters, to young people, and we develop fourth different edition, and our aims is to help young people to develop soft skills, and also to create a personal or a collective projects with impact on the community, on Bolzano city and the territory of Alto Adige. In this fourth edition, we decided to bring IAQOS to Bolzano, and so what is going on now? We are stopped because of COVID emergency, but we decided to we wanted to organize 3 different workshops in order to talk about the relationship between artificial intelligence and the society. And we would like also to engage our first target, young people, to take part in our projects. And secondly, we would like to create a campus, a training campus in which young people can go deeper together with experts on how artificial intelligence and how IAQOS can help Bolzano and the community of Bolzano to solve, to find solution for social issues. And so the young people can understand how to use IAQOS as a tool to create a social innovation project. As you already see, maybe watch in our presentation, we decided to develop a particular communication strategy. We decided to ask to an artist, a local artist. He's Hannes Egger. He's based in Bolzano in Alto Adige, but he works in Europe and in other countries. And together with Hannes, we develop a particular communication strategy. We called an artistic guerrilla marketing. Hannes, we asked to Hannes to think how we can communicate and create curiosity to the citizen of Bolzano. And during the last February, we create two different actions. The first one was a poster art project in which Hannes create these strong images and we deliver around the city. And the second action was a performance in which IAQOS, or something like an asteroid, a comet, something that advised the arriving of IAQOS in Bolzano, is going to go to the city, to go inside the different places around the city to and engage people. So as you can see in the second picture, this is the comet on a particular machine that we deliver inside different city, in different places of Bolzano, and we try to create curiosity around our project in all the cities. And secondly, we create a short web series called AI, or Philosopher's Stone. And you can see the free episode going to the link I share with you. And it was an online, the online action of our communication. We try to make the message stronger regarding the coming of IAQOS in Bolzano. And secondly, we also ask during the performance, we ask the people to leave us make a wish for Bolzano and leave them to IAQOS. So there's another one tools, the tabloid. It's a magazine. Unfortunately, now we stopped, but as soon as possible, we start again with our workshop, probably a webinar. So you can follow us on our channels, on our website. So you can, if you are interested, work with us. IAQOS Bolzano. Thank you.
Thank you, Massimiliano. Thank you, Federico. Very, very exciting project. We have 5 minutes 5 minutes, 6 minutes, really for question. What's the business model? That was the first question, really. How? Well, I mean, it's an exciting project, but it's not just a project. You guys behind it are a startup, a company. What's the business model? Some people are asking.
Can you hear me? Because it says okay. As a creative industry in Italy, we have as a Cineglossa, we are two different organizations. Cineglossa is as a double business model, which is done by no profit and profit. So we have an enterprise and an association. So we most of the times we work on pilot projects in the association, and when they work, we commercialize them in the business ventures. So it depends. This project was supported at the beginning by the Ministry of Culture, and since it was a pilot project, just one funded in Italy, it was 100% funded. So we didn't need even the co-financing for this. But it was actually a quite small funding. It was 50,000 euros, which for artificial intelligence, as you know, is not much because it entails a lot of coding also. But we're lucky because, as I said, we worked with Salvatore, Iaconesi and Oriana, Persico. You might not know them if you're not from Italy, or if you don't really are not into art and artificial intelligence, but they are big artists in this topic. So we managed to have other supports and other people working in a network with us, thanks to their presence.
It's a very exciting project because it really merges the analog and the digital in a seamless way, and at the same time it engages the local community. So the potential of utilizing this method, this approach you have, the asteroids, the baby going into a neighborhood and picking up all the needs, desires, aspirations, perceptions that are around that neighborhood is pure gold in policy making, in urban policy making terms. Now, when I showed this video to some colleagues, architects in Sweden, they were like, this is amazing. I wish we could do this. And they may get back to you indeed. But that is the question, IP. It's a question of also, how do you make sure you are protected?
Yeah. Then we always have lawyers with us working and understanding about intellectual property and about privacy, basically. And we always use the opt-in strategy. So everyone is totally aware that is giving data. At the beginning, for instance, we in Rome, when we opened the project, we went around the streets and we asked people for giving wishes for the birth of this new child in a tablet, so they could decide if they want to give a picture, they want to give a video message, they want to give a text. We were having data about what they wish about their neighborhood, basically, because wishing something for a child having life in that neighborhood means understanding the perception of that person that is giving that data about its own neighborhood. But they had to always to say, I accept to share this data. Yes. So everyone was always very informed about what was doing. And actually, the aspect is really this one, to make people aware when they give data, to be responsible what data they give, and they want to give those data to someone else for doing something.
Exactly. Thank you. Massimiliano, did you want to add something?
No, just to answer the first question, Cooperativa 19 is a cooperative enterprise. So also as we share a public fund with other form of business in order to cover the cost of our project. Regarding IAQOS Bolzano, we had an important public fund from the cultural department of Provincia Autonoma di Bolzano, and So it's important for us to develop the project because it's very, very experimental.
I wish we could talk a little bit more about Make It Visible in
Yes.
Bolzano, that initiative, which is now being put on the shelf for now, I gather.
Yeah, it's like, how can I say, Make It Visible. It's the big square. Inside there is a IAQOS Bolzano. So the methodology is the same. In the previous edition, we engage young people, and they create together with us, together with the expert of the training course, training campus, we create different projects like maps and content for an application, artworks developed also by Cineglossa. And together with the participant created the picture, poems, short text, and other contents, and we put all of them inside an alternative map of the city of Bolzano. So citizens and tourists can explore Bolzano from a different point of view, from a youngest point of view. And in the third edition, we decided to go deeper inside the video making, so and decided to focus on not on the city of Bolzano, but on a place, a building that is under an urban regeneration process led by the cultural institution. So together with the participant, we create a short film. You can see it on our website. So the participants learn how to write, how to shoot, and how to create a short film regarding a place, regarding a building.
So it's really your method there. It's in Bolzano. It's about mapping place, mapping perceptions, memories of place. It's a really an ethnographic, digital study and artistic project at the same time, as an urban project and as a potential tool for tourists to be used eventually. So you're doing some fantastic work up there in developing this experiment, really, which to me from the outside looks like it could be really, really supported by the city, different departments of the city, the economic development for sure, but also the education department and also, of course, the youth department, because you are engaging young people, you are training them. So there is a learning element in there. And there is also an element of marketing and branding of place for potential niche tourists, because the guys are producing interesting maps, which you wouldn't normally do if you left it to the local tourism office.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, we need to stop here. We are 4 minutes over time on this session, but it's been very exciting. Unless they are, wait a minute. Someone wanted to know about Cineglossa. One thing about Cineglossa, Ministry of Culture through the PON Cultura, URDF, or other sources of national funding.
It was Minister of Culture pilot project wanted by Paolo Castelli, which is a functionary in the ministry, and he fought a lot to have this pilot project about art and artificial intelligence.
Great, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.